Yes, Mr. Mulla, it's Mr. Hussain.
The infamous Mr. Hussain.
The infamous, that's correct. That's the right use of the word infamous. How are you doing, Mr. Mulla?
Alright, thank you.
We're having a lot of problems at our end.
I'm afraid so, yes.
Right then. I've not received it. First of all, I've not received anything in writing showing that you have authority over my brother.
Well, I've flagged it up to
Legal.
the powers that be, yes.
Okay. And you're not in, are you in a position to tell me whom in legal?
Have you had any response from your email that you sent the other day?
I've received no response. I think that seems to be a position taken by you do understand that anything that legal does, like for example, anything that your solicitor would do if if it was a private case, would be on the direction of you, not the solicitors themselves. So I say that because anything that legal are doing on the understanding of the directors. I have received a letter from the Bev Mabry, the director.
Okay.
But that was a very threatening letter, and it's all to do with the fact that I had gone in to one of the care homes that the local authority operate and did undercover filming.
Yeah, I don't want to obviously get into that kind
Yeah, you don't. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So that's the only update I've received is from Bev Mabry, because obviously Bev Mabry is the key architect of the decision makers that are doing this. Now, what concerns me, Mr. Muller, is that I had a brief discussion with Mr. Muchichitiri on Thursday. He says that he's received some new instructions. He looked to get back to me. I didn't hear anything back from him. I didn't hear anything back from yourself. I then proceeded to go as usual to collect his money on Friday, only to be told that no, we've got some new instructions and we can't give you the money unless my brother Talib comes to the third floor.
That's the understanding I have as well.
Yeah, that's right. But obviously I take issue with the fact that okay, if you're gonna change your mind like this, that's one thing. But to not make us aware and for me to have a wasted journey, the fact that you've changed your mind, alright, let's put that to one side. I could have been informed.
True. I wasn't here on Friday.
I know, but irrespective, somebody else could have, basically it's not you do accept that it's not acceptable that I've had to waste a journey going down only to be told that no, we've now changed our mind orally. When I'm asked to do something, I'm asked to put things in writing. And so therefore, obviously, irrespective of whether I collected the money or not on behalf of my brother, I have once again leveled charges for my time of taking my brother down. So, obviously I take issue with the fact that we've not been told. Now, I've heard some other gobbledygook today about not going to Britannia House to collect the money, and if that's an option available or something. Can you just please clarify what the situation is now?
You can either go to Horton Bank like you have done in the past and take your brother and up to the third floor, which is what the instructions say.
Okay.
Or you could, again, same thing applies, even if you come down to Britannia House customer service area, you would still have to have Talib with you.
Okay, alright. Now, can you please, who has made that decision?
Well, it's an option for you.
No, but somebody's made that decision, haven't they?
Well,
because the week before I went and collected it and signed, you've got a copy of my signature signing for the money. So somebody's made a decision to change it to give us two options, which are both of them are not acceptable to Talib. Now, if you're gonna get, as by law, you have to recognize people have disabilities, and in order, you should not discriminate against them.
You're not discriminating against them.
Of course you are. Of course you are. And allow me to elaborate further. First of all, my brother has an issue with going on to the third floor.
Oh, no. The problem, the other option of Britannia House is it's all on ground floor.
I know, I understand this, but let me explain to you. And I've explained this to Mr. Muchichitiri and Baljit Noter as well. My brother is a free person. He has his own mental capacity. He does whatever he likes. I've explained to them that even myself, when I go to visit our mother in Oldham, sometimes he says, I don't want to go inside. Okay, and he waits in the car. That's his choice. Now, with regards to, obviously, that's with regards to his choice of going to the third floor. He most definitely doesn't want to go to the third floor. In the past, he's refused. And once a person with mental health problems makes a decision, or like anybody else, especially with my family, everybody's so stubborn. So he's definitely not going to go now, because he's been forced to go there. So what's happened in the past is that he has, or I think on one occasion, gone to the third floor to collect his money. Subsequently, I took him inside because I'm not going up. So the Balje and Fungi had to come down and give him money at reception. Then subsequently, he's not been going down. I went down on one occasion, once again told that if he's not coming to the third floor, he's not going to get his money. That was made quite clear to Mr. By Mr. Muchichiriti to me. That was a wasted journey. I felt annoyed and had to lodge a complaint regarding that. Subsequently, you've changed your mind and accepted that I can go and collect his money. So that problem's now been alleviated. But now you ordered once again changed your mind. All right, and now you're saying no, he can either go to the third floor, which he never was going to go to the third floor. He's not been going for the last several times. So he's not going to go to the third floor. That's because of his own mental health issues or whatever decisions he's made. But then the alternative is to go to Britannia House. Now the problem we got with going to Britannia House is he may not want to go there in the first place or whatever. But one thing you're forgetting is that how is he practically supposed to go from his house to Britannia House?
How is he getting to Horton Park?
I'm taking him in my mother's mobility vehicle and charging you for the time. Yes? Okay, so my brother doesn't have a mobility vehicle. And even if he did have a mobility vehicle, what the elephant in the room has always been is that you're looking to get me to labour for free. I do all the running around. Now, quite happily, last week what's happened, yesterday, Fungi and Bali have come to deliver the money to him at his home.
Okay, alright, okay.
Well, that's an option. Alright, I mean, that way, I think...
It can be done on a permanent, but that's the only thing I can't guarantee that they'll be doing that every day.
Well, I mean, what you can... But these are the administrative problems you're having as looking to take over deputyship. Because the problem you're having, Mr. Muller, is this, that I think, I'm concerned that if you're the deputy or the Adalat's the deputy, if you're not having regular contact with the donor, then how are you best positioned to be the deputy? For example, me and Talib may decide next week to go back to Pakistan on a holiday. I can assure you that I don't think that's going to happen because we've got no money. But if we go on holiday, I'm not obligated and Talib's not obligated to tell you. Is he?
If that's how you feel, yeah.
No, but he's not under any obligation to inform you that he's going on holiday.
But how else is he going to pay for it then?
Well, irrespective, I mean, like I said, he's not obligated. There's no obligation on him to inform you. Well, let's say he wins the lottery tomorrow and he has money and he can go on holiday. He's not under any obligation to inform you as his deputy that he's going on holiday.
Well, I'll take your word for it, yeah.
Yeah. And then subsequently, your duty is to inform the DWP that this person is out of the country. How are you in a position to do that?
Because you will be coming to collect the cash.
Okay, but I mean, we maybe not be coming to collect the cash for some other reason. How do you know that if we don't come to collect the cash, that we're on holiday?
We'd make inquiries.
Yeah, I know you'll make inquiries, but the reality is that, you have the reason I mention these is because, as a DWP appointee, you have a certain responsibility and to inform of change of circumstances. You can only do that if you're being made aware of those change of circumstances. You're not in a best position to make the DWP aware of change of circumstances if you have no direct contact with my brother. I do. So, for example, if my brother was to go into hospital, I'm best positioned to inform the DWP that this is what happened. It's not just about, getting charge of Talib's money. It's about having that duty of care. I raise these things to your attention, Mr. Mulla, just to say the fact that you're not in a best position to be his deputy. Just, Mr. Muller, I was just surprised to receive your last email. Can I just ask, did you draft that email?
I'm not obliged to say anything, really. To be honest, I've been instructed not to talk to you.
Okay, all right.
So...
But can you, once again, all right, let's just go on this. Let's say you've been instructed not to talk to me or have any communication with me. How is then Talib supposed to get his money?
Well, this is the concern I have as well.
And you should raise that concern to those people who have instructed you, that you're practically saying, don't speak to this guy. And then I have a duty and an obligation to ensure that Talib receives his money.
Yeah, well, that's already been discussed.
Okay, all right. And obviously, the people that are making the decision, what concerns me, Mr. Muller, and it's this issue that concerns me quite regularly, and I don't want you to take any offense to this, because it's an issue that I brought up with Imran and who took offense to this. I'm just concerned that people are being used as agents for somebody else. Like Mr. Muchichitiri, is being used because of his ethnicity, maybe you're because of yourself or because of your ethnicity. Why do the people that are making the decisions not speak to me directly?
I don't know.
This is very concerning, because obviously they're making yourselves as scapegoats. So if anything happens, they can say, "Oh well, it was nothing to do with us. We passed the instructions on to Mr. Muchichitiri or yourselves and blah blah." So basically, it seems that the decision makers are making decisions having anonymity, and that's something that can't be right. They can't be making decisions that affect me and Talib's life, and then also want to have anonymity and put yourselves as and front the tasks to yourself, and ask you to be perceived as the decision makers. Clearly, Mr. Muller, you're not the decision maker. And from the content of that email that you sent me, I would struggle to understand or accept that that was drafted by you, because I know yourself. You know the language that you would use, and it seemed a very stern email. For example, it says that the local authority are in the best position to be the deputy for my brother, and that can't be right, considering all the problems that we've had since you've taken up this position. And so therefore I've received an email purportedly coming from you, whose content have been drafted, I believe, by somebody else. And at this stage, at this moment in time, you can't confirm or deny that. Pardon? You're right. So therefore, that's an example, and this is not the first time that this has happened to me, where I've received emails purportedly coming from one person whom somebody else has wrote on behalf of. Now that adds a level of confusion, you see.
Like I say, your concerns have been flagged up, so that's...
Yes. But as it presently stands, my brother is not in any better position. And what another aspect is that, one of the first things, the lasting power of attorney document. The most important thing, the first thing I do with that is get data. So the first thing I do is make a subject access request. So the subject access request I've made to the local authority regarding all the data that you hold regarding my brother Talib, which would then explain to me all the decisions that have been made, that has been accepted by the local authority. It's been accepted by the Care Trust. It's been accepted by West Yorkshire Police, and it's also been accepted by the Office of the Public Guardian. The Office of the Public Guardian have then proceeded to act upon it. West Yorkshire Police are in the process of acting upon it. However, both the Care Trust and the Council have said that we want a further 2 months. So my present position is one where end of February that 2 months expires, because I've made people aware of the lasting power of attorney in November. You have 1 month to comply. The local authority have written to me saying that they want a 2 months time extension. They have not said to me that we do not accept the lasting power of attorney. So on the one hand, the local authority, as far as the subject access request is concerned, has accepted the lasting power of attorney and have requested a time extension to the end of February. And then alternatively, the financial protection team, i.e. yourselves, are saying we don't accept the lasting power of attorney because we have a court order in place. A court order, may I add, that neither myself or my brother Talib has seen to date. Okay, all right. We're looking. All right. The last point, Mr. Muller, I'm bringing to your attention, which obviously still requires addressing, and we can look to end this call today, is the fact that my brother's disability living allowance. We're not sure what's happening with this money.
Well, I'll check that with Pat when she comes in tomorrow.
She's not in tomorrow.
Oh, she's not actually. Yeah, Thursday then.
Yes, you see, I know more about your stuff than you do. I should get a job. Mr. Muller, I hear that you're holding interviews.
I am, yeah. Well,
All
how
right.
did you know all this?
I hear you're holding interviews. Maybe I should make an application to become part of your team.
You haven't made an application, have you?
No, I haven't, Mr. Muller. Don't worry. I haven't made an application, no. But Mr. Muller, just to summarize, we need to know how Talib's going to get his money. He's unwilling to go to Britannia House and he's unwilling to go to the third floor. So in the interim, please can we ensure that if you're not willing to accept his lasting power of attorney or his instructions to ask me to collect his money, then his money should be delivered to his home. In the meanwhile, I would urge you to remove yourself as appointees, DWP appointees, so I can take up that position and help facilitate Talib's finances. Because obviously I need to make applications for his benefits and so on and so forth. I would like you to look into the DLA because this is still something that you've told me you're going to look into and we haven't had a definitive answer. And finally, we need something lawful with a court stamp on it to ensure that you are who you say you are in acting in my brother's financial deputies, because we at this stage contest any such order because it's clearly not in my brother's best interest. And having a deputyship means that you have to pay in excess of £350 to the Office of the Public Guardian every year, which is not in my brother's best interest. He has subsequently signing a lasting power of attorney, and I would urge you, the council, to recognise it and respect Talib's rights and freedoms, because he's somebody who has mental health problems but always has retained his mental capacity to make his own choices and decisions in life.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Muller. And with regards to this next lot of money, can you please send it to Horton Park?
Well, it goes to Horton Park every week.
Okay, all right. How much money is saved up?
I can't tell you that at the moment, so.
Well, we don't want you to. If we ever learn that you're holding on to more money than what he's getting of £150, we hold you liable for that, because you should not be holding on to any more money, because the money that he receives, the DLA money or the benefit money, the DWP money that he receives are what the law says that he needs to live off. Yes, we've gone through all this in the past. You shouldn't be holding on to any money that because any money, extra money that Adalat has. Just finally, what's the position with Adalat?
I can't tell you anything at the moment.
Okay, Mr. Mullah, please can you inform to me in writing whom I need to speak to in legal? Because I did following my conversation with Pat Vadine last week, I rang up legal and they told me there's no caseworker as it stands.
That may be their stance.
Okay, all right. That is their stance, because I've tried to speak, and obviously I've received an email from Marion Morahan, which has included yourself, and they're not providing me with the details of a caseworker. Please, can you try to get some resolution for us?
Yeah. Okay, no worries.
All right, Mr. Mullah. Thank you very much for taking my call.
No worries.
Thank you. Goodbye.